Now, Drew taking a really dark turn is something that has been teased ever since season 1 when he unleashed on Lil Guap. But the thing is with Drew, he's been held back by Monet over and over again, and all this has done has made Drew want to forge his own path. But unfortunately for him, his path was already chosen before he was even born, and it's just going to take a series of events to make him realize his true destiny. So in this video, we're going to break down every bit of key detail about Drew's character and how he's going to evolve into this monster. Because right now, he may be the outsider of the family, but how key events will make him the insider, to then the leader. How he's going to go from being this artist to this soldier and then ruthless killer, honest to dishonest, and go from being loyal to Ev to loyal to his family and his family business. And this is how Drew's character will evolve into a monster. So this character analysis will be different to the others, but we'll also incorporate the 48 laws of power. But first, it really is important to know how Drew has always been held back, and this has just contributed towards him rebelling against Monet. He's always someone who's wanted to prove his worth, and with Monet not really giving him a chance to do this, it's gonna naturally push him into the direction of Lorenzo, now that he is free. Now in season 1, it was Lorenzo that said it needed to be Drew to go and deal with the situation with Lil Guap, posting all over social media. But what did Monet do? She sent Kane to look over him, because she felt as if she couldn't trust Drew to get the job done, and she has all her kids playing these positions, and she gave Drew this position, which she felt he could play, which is going to Stansfield and finding out how Tariq moves his weight. But inadvertently, all that did was lead Drew to finding Ev and building this relationship and connection with him, which is why he found himself spending more time at Stansfield. And she even questioned Drew. She said that Lorenzo's been worried about him the most and whether he can handle it because he's soft. But Monet's never been worried about him being in that world because he's strong, he's smart, and he looks at every single option. And he definitely showed us how strong he is when he gave us that brief glimpse of what happens when someone doesn't fall the fuck back. He unleashed on Lil Guap after he had the gun to Zeke's knee, and that was really the first time we saw this turn of character from Drew. It then came towards the end of the season when Monet realized Drew is the natural leader to take over the business because she was looking at him all wrong, and he was someone who was ready. And that's because Drew ordered Kane to deal with Lil Guap and kill all of them for what they did to Zeke, because that's Kane's role in the family. But Drew's role, his role is to make the decisions and lead, because that's what leaders do. They very rarely get their hands dirty, and they always give the orders and get others to do the work for them, which is a principle of Law 7 from the 48 Laws of Power. But having said this changed when he got shot. Monet became this overprotective mother once again at the start of season 2. She was paranoid herself at the consequences of Drew getting shot and her killing Rico, so she made this exit strategy to keep both Drew and Diana safe. But the issue is with this, trying to be a controlling mother and dictating every single aspect and move of your kids is eventually going to backfire, especially when they become older and start having minds of their own, or having certain events in their life take place which will change them. And Drew getting shot, albeit he should take a fair share of the blame himself, because he should never have stood up in the first place. But along with him being shot and Monet telling him that they were going to follow Zeke around the country, basically wherever he goes, they go. These were the key moments for him to change and rebel against Monet, because this isn't really the way he wants to live his life. So at the beginning of season 2, we saw Monet reverting back to her old ways of protecting Drew and forgetting about what she told him in this scene and how she'd been seeing everything wrong. So when Zeke was in trouble with the whole Jabari and Ramirez murder investigation, she had Kane and Diana step up and play their part, but she kept Drew babysitting Zeke, and this only pushed Drew to want to prove his worth and help his family even more, just like on previous occasions. So we actually raised the most money with a GoFundMe page and even got Zeke's basketball team to forfeit a game to raise money for Zeke. But again, he creates his own problems and a problem for the family when he hits this media reporter, which results in this argument with Monet, where he basically tells her that he should be playing a key role in their family affairs. So this is where his journey and path really begins, with the release of Lorenzo. And this is where we're going to begin to talk about the different stages of Drew evolving as a character, because the key thing is with Drew's change is the fact that there's going to be several key and defining moments that define him and who he becomes, and all of these will be at different stages of his journey. So Lorenzo being released is what will kick things off for his character, and similar to how I made the Michael Corleone link before, it's going to be a very slow build up where we see a lot of elements take place. Lorenzo coming home is going to be the first change, where he goes from being the outsider to the insider. And notice how when we spoke about the situation with Monet, treating Drew like the outsider, him babysitting Zeke, her sending Kane to look over him when he went to deal with Lil Guap, but all that's about to change with Lorenzo.
You need to eliminate the threat.
So he tells Lorenzo, you need to eliminate the threat, and this is Drew making the decisions, and eventually we are going to see him becoming the leader, because we all know Lorenzo prefers Drew over Kane, And in episode 3 of the first season, Lorenzo even told Monet, stop babying Drew, because if he's to take over from me, then he needs to learn. And Lorenzo said, Kane's too unpredictable, and Monet's attached to Diana, so it has to be Drew. And this is when we're gonna see him going from the outsider, to the insider, to then the leader, which is something we haven't seen yet, but you can see how he's heading in this direction. But not only will he become this leader, he's gonna go from being this artist, to this soldier, to eventually turning into a ruthless killer. Now I'm sure we're gonna see his training come into use, with him shooting someone with his left hand, similarly to how Michael Corleone used his background in the army, which helped him in several key moments. And Kane even said that he needs to be able to protect the family, and there definitely will come a time where he'll have to do this, because who knows, they may even be on opposite sides when this whole Tejada split takes shape. Because will Drew side with Monet, or will he side with Lorenzo? I think it's fair to say he's more likely to side with his father, so him choosing Lorenzo and him catching a body is only going to evolve his character even further. Now, so far Drew's a character who's been pretty honest with Ev, with what he can. But there is going to come a time where his character turns from being honest to dishonest, and this works hand in hand with him turning from being loyal to Ev, to then becoming loyal to his family and his family business. And I'm sure what will play a crucial role for Drew will be Ev's death, and maybe he has to even kill him himself to prove his loyalty to Lorenzo and the family, or maybe he gets caught in a crossfire. But that would mean another body dropping on campus, so I really can't see this many deaths around Stansfield. Even though the streets need a body, Stansfield is way too hot because of the death of Bars, Jabari, and how Ramirez is linked as well. And Carrie seems like she's also someone who's earning a death. So even though I do think we'll see Ev dying at some point, I can't see Carrie and Ev both catching a hot one. So we may have to wait a little longer for this to happen. And this is what will turn him into the full Savage character, because he'll have pretty much everything that he loves in his double life ripped away from him. He's not an artist anymore, and he won't have Ev anymore. And where Lorenzo may let Diana go to college, Drew's destiny definitely lies in the streets. So that's Drew's character in a nutshell, from what we've seen so far, and how we could really see his character evolve into someone who really does become this ruthless monster. And it's not going to happen over an episode or two, it is something that will definitely continue into season 3 and 4, depending if his character makes it there, which I think it will, because there is a long process for his character until he realizes his true potential and what he can do. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section about Drew and what we can expect from his character going forward, and all the links to the other mid-season character analysis will be down below as well. I will be back with my preview and predictions video as usual tomorrow, breaking down the synopsis, images, and what we can expect for episode 6. So if you haven't done so already and you're new to the channel, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 2 Ghost and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.